It's Wednesday, 22nd of February, and I've got a day off work. So I thought I'd do like a mini vlog today, as I was looking at doing stuff around the house, and I thought, well, I could either do stuff around the house or I could make a video. So I thought I would make a video. Ever since starting the vlog, I've tried to keep things a little bit up-tempo, a little bit happy. Today, I think that's going to change a little bit. I want to talk about something which is quite close to my heart and quite personal. So if you are going to watch this, and if you are thinking, oh, I really don't want to watch anything which is a little bit drab, a little bit down-tempo, then I totally understand. I completely understand. It's just, I need to pretty much get this stuff off my chest. I think it's important at this point just to say that I'm not a medical practitioner. I'm in IT. I'm not trying to dumb down mental issues. I'm just trying to put across my thoughts on what's happened to me. I've got some stuff in the description that might help you guys, some links and some things like that. This isn't, a cure for mental illness. This is just how I'm getting through it, how I'm battling it, how I'm trying to make myself better and trying to control it rather than it controlling me. So with that, let's get back to the vlog. And it's pretty much going to be shot indoors in my office, and it's not going to be very long, but it's going to be about my experiences and how I got to get past a lot of the experiences and get past a lot of the issues and make my mental health work for me, and not have mental health push me to places I didn't want to go. So here we go. So in order to fully understand, I think we've got to go back to when I was first diagnosed with Manic Depression. So let's go back roughly 10 years ago to when I was 22. Now this is very rough. This is pretty much, I've had to do a lot of digging to make this video because I've had to go back through a lot of photos, a lot of timeline stuff, a lot of sort of scrapbooks and things like that, and try and piece together everything that I can't remember. So this is pretty much, go back 10 years, I was 22, a lot of stuff had happened in my life, and pretty much got to a stage where I couldn't work properly, my job was in jeopardy, I was very erratic, I was very angry, then I had incredibly euphoric highs almost, where I would be so happy for so long, and then I would have these crushing lows where I didn't want to go anywhere, I didn't want to see anyone, I didn't want to exist, I just wanted everything to stop. So I would go back to the doctors and I knew something wasn't right. I have always been a moderately happy person, never been over the top happy. I've always just, well, kind of just been me really. And I knew that there was something wrong. I knew that there was something that wasn't right. Unfortunately, there's not a lot that can be done with you just to turn around to a doctor and saying, well, I feel pretty crappy, and I thought that in order for the doctor to fully understand, I'd have to go to a place where I didn't like to go. I'd have to delve into me, and I'd have to turn around to this doctor and tell him everything that I was feeling. And that is, for me and for a lot of men, I think, a difficult position to be in, a difficult place. But it has to be done in order for the doctor to fully understand what's going on with you, and then in order for you to fully understand what's going on with you, you have to be as open as possible. So I went back about 4 or 5 times, and every time I went back, I was just told to try and relax, try and de-stress. I was obviously at a level of stress that I couldn't handle, and I thought, well, yeah, that makes sense, but how do I get past this? What's the next step? Obviously, bearing in mind I was 22, I was drinking quite a lot as well at that time. Now, that didn't help me a lot. I thought that if I would drink a lot, that I would slowly start to forget and slowly start to not care and hopefully try to slot myself back into life. That didn't happen. Things got very much worse quite quick. So I thought, well, there's not, I'd have to stop that. So a lot of friends, a lot of family helped me try to curb that, which was great. I really needed that. And then obviously the doctor then eventually said, right, okay, take these tablets. They were Prozac. And that, I just spiraled even worse on those. I thought that they were terrible. Did not agree with me. Things got very much worse very much quickly. Where I did lose my job, and I was on the verge of cracking. I didn't know what to do. I lost a lot of friends. I had some very close friends, which I've still got some very close friends, which I can't thank them enough for helping me through it. And obviously my family as well for doing exactly the same, because from 22 up until about 27, I was not an easy person to live with. I was not an easy person to get on with. It was hell, quite honestly. There's no other way to put it. It was not knowing what you're thinking, not knowing what you're doing. So what I thought I would do is I would try and work. I would try and overcome this, and I would go self-employed, and I would do what I'd learned, and that was fix computers, repair computers. But the only problem was I didn't take into account, obviously this is another downside of, I think, of being so young at the time as well, is not realising how much work you have to put in if you're self-employed, and that then drilled me into the ground, and that was pretty much it. There were several suicide attempts. Obviously they failed because I'm here, and I can honestly say at this point I'm glad that they failed. There were times where I would cut my arms, my forearms, and that wasn't a cry for help. A lot of people think, oh, it's a cry for help. And I suppose in many ways it might be, but it wasn't for me. Being on antidepressants numbs you. It gets you to a state where you can just cope, where you've pretty much just plateaued. Getting past that is very difficult. It's something that you have to work at. But I think on the few times that I did cut my forearms, it was pretty much something. It was just so that I could feel something. Just so that everything that was numb, my feelings, my thoughts, I was numb. I could feel something for that brief moment. Which, again, is not a good thing to be doing. But this is obviously the path that I took. Now, fast forward a couple of years, and I'd got into a steady relationship, and everything was going okay, but I was still not right. I should not have got into a relationship. I wasn't sleeping. I had these great big fits of insomnia where I wouldn't sleep for 3 or 4 days straight, and then I would sleep for 16, 17 hours, and then I just didn't want to do anything, didn't want to go anywhere, and it was very difficult. So, fast forward again, a couple of years, and I had tried several different versions of antidepressants. I was on Prozac, I was on sertraline, and I found that sertraline actually helped me. So I stayed on that. And then I decided to move to Bristol. I had a new job offer, and I decided to move. And I moved to Bristol, I settled down, I came off the antidepressants after a little while. For the first time, I think I had a bit of clarity. I knew what I was doing. I had moved to cities, so therefore I had to work. I had to bury myself in work, but because of the type of job I was doing, there was a cut-off point, so I could still live. I could still go places. I could still do things. I didn't have to feel as if I was constantly, as if I had work crushing down on me. And then I met a girl who is now my wife. And she's helped me through no end. And I went back on, I switched jobs then, I went back on my antidepressants because I thought I needed them, and I think at the time, I did need them. And again, I was on it okay, I was pretty much on a level, but I wasn't me. I felt as if there was something wrong. I put on a lot of weight. I didn't go to the gym anymore. I didn't work out. I didn't do anything. I just ate really unhealthily. I was lazy, lethargic, and didn't do, anything. Sorry, folks, I just had to change my camera. So, yeah, so I was on my antidepressants the last time for 4 years, and I came off them in October 2016, and I was pretty much, I was a wreck. I was in a hell of a state. I couldn't speak properly. My speech was quite slurred and garbled, and I would say things inside out and back to front and just wouldn't make a lot of sense. I had like a thick cloud, what felt like a thick cloud over half of my brain, and I just couldn't function. I couldn't think. I wouldn't remember what anybody told me. There were often times where I'd written things down in a book, and I often keep a little book, just of little things, and essentially I had written stuff down, and I thought to myself, well, who's written that? I had no recollection of me ever writing that, so I thought that obviously when I came off antidepressants, this would help to build me back up. So I went from being 20 stone in October, at having quite a bad diet, to not exercising at all, whereas in the years previous when I hadn't been on my antidepressants, I was bodybuilding, I did a lot of powerlifting, I would run, I would jog, and it went from all of that to nothing, and obviously, it took its toll. It showed, and it does still show, and it's going to take me a while to get back to the sort of physical fitness that I had, which obviously that in turn made my asthma worse, and I thought I'd build myself back up. So this is exactly what I'm doing. I'm sort of midway to doing that, I suppose. So I've started running the past 2 months. I've started running, I've started jogging, started walking more, whereas I could have got the bus. Now I get off the bus and I walk. My health is a lot better. I've lost a stone and a bit. I'm eating a lot better as well. And it's all helps towards a positive mind. And it does, it really does help. And I suppose this is what's made me want to make this video today, is that I'm feeling in a much better place. And I'm hoping this is going to carry on, and I think it's right to document something like this, because there's often times where you do wonder to yourself, where's this going? Where am I going? Where am I going to be in 6 months? Now where am I going to be, tomorrow? And I think you've got to document the good things. You've got to document the good times, but also know that it's not always good. It's not always positive. A lot of it is negative. But you've got to fight through it. You have to. There's no other way around it. You have to come through it. And I think that's where I'm at now. I'm just sort of at that crossroads, I think, where I want to carry on and keep on sort of managing my mental health. And that's another reason again for doing these vlogs. I mean, in my about page on the website, I always say it's about mental health. It's about mental health. And it totally is. This is like my therapy. This is what helps me. I mean, you can sit down, you can talk to somebody. That often helps a lot of people. That doesn't help me. In order to open up to somebody, I have to trust that person. And I never felt as if I could have done that through normal therapy sessions, and that never helped me. I mean, you'd probably get more answers out of a rock sitting on a chair than you would actually talking to me if I was in that situation. So I think this video, this sort of connection, this is my therapy. I think, but also if I'd realised that there was a lot of help out there that you could go and you could get, I think it would have made things a lot easier, and I think I wouldn't have struggled as much as I have over the years. So I think that's important to remember, that there is help out there. There are people you can call upon, whether it be friends, whether it be medical health professionals, or whatever. There is help out there, and I think that's very important to remember. With all that, I think this is probably the best place to kind of end this episode. I mean, this episode has been extremely difficult for me to make. I've pretty much been talking for 40 minutes, and I've tried to distill this down to about 10, 12 maybe, and try and make it coherent and try and make sense. I've put a couple of addresses that if anyone out there is suffering, and if you don't know where to turn, there's a couple of web addresses in the description that you may find handy. So that being said, I think we're going to cut this here.